Dang it. Is anybody out there? Hello, whoever's out there. I was trying to get my cell working so I could kind of chit chat, text messaging through that, but it just will not go live. I'll try it again. But before, I don't know whoever's out there. Hopefully, you've already watched the red eye #1 video. And then follow the notes in there and stuff, and it'll give you ideas with this. But you know, who knows? But I'm already saying that it's pretty hot. So, hey, interesting things. How's it going? Yes, I am. Thanks for the thumbs up, Paul. So when I was standing over there, you could see my head, eh? Thanks for everybody who's joining. I'm not going to be doing a heck of a lot of talking and stuff. I'm going to be just doing attention grabbing and stuff like that. Okay, perfect. And what about for a high up? Like, you believe you just start to you kind of see the stairs fade out sort of thing? Right on. Thank you, interesting things. I don't know if you watched the first video, but if you have an option to bring up two different windows, then bring up the video that's called Red Eye. It's the first video, a few days ago. Yeah, it's going to be dark. No doubt it's going to be dark. But if you watch that video, then you get an understanding that, you must realize too, we do the best we can, right? Yeah, I hear you. Thank you. 10-4 back. So on these stairs, I'm just going, I guess the angle I got, but right now, I think I backed up the car more or something. It's one of the differences. You're just on the roof of the car, but I have to have you. Well, I guess I don't have to have you plugged in. So I'm going to just move it for now then. If anybody comes along and you're still around things, then maybe you can kind of just help people out on letting them know that I'm here and about and stuff, around. So right here, this is some of the damage that is occurring. Were you able to see me there? Like the actual spot, or I have it higher than that? Okay. I'm cool. I'm just trying to get a good visual, and I kind of like where it is, I think. I'm going to turn it more like that. It's kind of interesting. It won't let me go on Wi-Fi with my phone. That's cool. Here's what it is. Biggest thing about it, when it comes down to this kind of stuff, I really enjoy checking it out myself too and stuff, and afterwards. So can you see a big rock? I don't think so. I think I have it higher than the rock. Okay, I think probably on the top of the planters, those first plants you see. And then the good thing to look at is that hedge up there and stuff. Like a number of people had certain comments about it, and they are what they are, but I honestly thought I was seeing a couple of digits of a hand up in one of the open spaces, kind of on that hedge up there. It kind of might, like I can't see the picture really well, but it may be kind of center of you. And if that, I look forward to looking at this again later and seeing if those same two digits that I found them to moving around and stuff. So I really didn't think they were part of the plant. And even when I looked at it afterwards, I didn't think they were part of the plant. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this. So here's a couple of things. And I don't know, like, to be able to see deep in the upper areas and stuff like that, you really need to be in the zoom mode to get good looks in there. I know with that other one, the part one there, red eye, that one you really need to be doing zooming on it into the areas that I'm talking about, mostly up in the top and the back, along the whole back and stuff, and you almost across the whole screen. I would almost break it down into quarters, so you'd be looking to get across the whole page, maybe in fourths or something like that, so you can concentrate on a certain amount of area. And when you're over on the left, it's almost like Christmas lights in a way. I re-looked at it here on a bigger screen because I wasn't finding it very well on my little screen, and yeah, it was kind of interesting. It was almost like, at first I'm going, am I getting this right? Is that just something else reflecting? And no, I started to look at them, and I'm wondering if some people might get that confusion. But what you have to do is just start counting eyes. They're in pairs of two, like 2 eyes per pair, and size this to comparison, and then you kind of get a sequence of how they're actually, each two are working together. And that's how I would, in part, was clarifying, that little package up there on the left of them in that video. Hello. Hey, James. I'm not ever able to see the comments very well or whatever, but I'm hanging out here. This is, yeah, a live watch, and it's because talking about the live watch we did the other night where we got lucky. And people are calling for other stuff in there up on the top of layers or whatever. And they might be right. Like I was looking at the top layers of those stairs in that video there, and it's trippy. But the one thing about it, the pixelation of this camera, this computer, it really starts to break up on that high stress of pixelation. So when you're looking at what I'm referring to as the red eyes, their flickering could be a little bit of an illusion based on how the camera could be breaking up a little bit. But them themselves are not an illusion, and then once you characterize them with as two eyes and stuff, then you realize they're not an illusion either there. So oh, you do, eh? Rambo, okay, awesome. And are you seeing me today? Like, are you talking about right now, bro? You know, Rambo, the First Blood was filmed not too far from me here. I've been, I believe, in those ravine things where they did the shots where he was down there, the beach and stuff, in the helicopter and everything. I believe I've been right in that area there from that Rambo movie. But you got to tell me. You're saying definitely see the eye shine. Now I want you to refer to is that tonight right now, or are you referring to Mission? Just out of Vancouver, BC. I guess I throw Mission, and I mean every city has the name Mission. Eh? That is too funny. Yeah, so not too far from Vancouver. Yeah, you loved that movie. Yeah, I hear you. So did I. So I still do. Right now, going on, eh? I wouldn't doubt it. There seems to be a certain amount of comfort or whatever. And if you watch that other video, then yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to see it. Like, I'm not even trying to put my eyes up there or anything like that. I don't. I do my certain style of where I show interest and how I show interest and stuff like that. I'm gonna go hang out on the stairs. I'll show you guys when I'm up on that landing. And then I'm gonna go up to the very top and I'm gonna stand in front of this plaque thing, and I want you to be able to see if we can make me out up there. I'm not gonna yell or anything. I'll just stand in front of it a couple of times, a little bit or something. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to go up on top and light my lighter for some fun. And also listen to kind of high frequency extra car noise. Like added in sort of thing, you know? So you're referring to that right now, crypto guy? So in other words, let me see. Where are you guys at, anyways? Is this a good spot? It worked out. Yeah, I think there's more to worry about than that. Personally, in my 2 years, the biggest one, probably the biggest concern first, is population overload. And I think because I recognize them through a different way than pretty much any other people, I was able to tap in really quick that they're farmers. They had something to do with farming and stuff. So I have so much of my time. If you go back to the very first week, I started nicknaming them woodsmen of the forest. Yeah, there we go. And you said, and the trees. And I referred to them as woodsmen of the forest. It was my nickname. And then about a year and a half later or something, so I can't remember actually how long, but some of the local natives, they had a thing going on, this Bigfoot boat races up at Harrison there or something. So I went up there. It's not really about Bigfoot, but they call it that. Anyways, but I did find out from one of their brochures things there that they have stories dating back a few thousand years, verbal stories, that they're caretakers of the land. And that's the first time I ever heard anything like that. And my nickname was Woodsman of the Forest, and I never really heard anything like that. Like, because I was saying it in a craftsman way as a woodsman of the forest. That's one thing I don't emphasize on ever. Maybe people don't realize that, and they might just think I'm talking about some woodsman, walking around the woods, right? But no, I'm referring to a craftsman of wood, and would help stimulate it, help grow it, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm one of them. Okay, where are we? The masters of the tree. There we go. Yeah. Yes, Bigfoot is the. Yeah, well, a lot more than the forest. If you go into my stuff, you'll start noticing, like these stairs that I'm actually pointed at, they're breaking them apart. They're into fracking and breaking. So anything that's anything with the byproducts of Earth, they'll break. If it's a rubber component and stuff like that, they don't really get into as much wanting to mess with it. So asphalt has rock in it. Anything with a rock in it. And you know how our asphalt world, I don't know about where you guys live, maybe a lot of your roads are concrete or something, but anyways, cracks and potholes and stuff have become phenomenal in every state, every province, every country. And people don't remember back in the day when we came up with a good amount of tar that you would put in with the mix and so on and so forth, because we figured out back in those days that the asphalt would last so well like this, and now all of that has gone to kaputs. So we got to either recalculate the asphalt, and nobody's paying attention to, and make those guys accountable to bow for it, or we got to realize that it's not their fault that it's breaking down. We did have a proper format for asphalt, and same with concrete and stuff. Like even on that bridge where I show a powder form of the concrete. Concrete never goes to a powder form unless it's absolutely failing. And yeah, I pick it up and I on that one and I show you. And what that is that's the finickiness of that part of the ecosystem, claws, whatever, sitting there making it really fine, scraping away. And then that's part of the reason why they left it in there. Once you watch that video, it's just about bridges and stuff recently here, concrete damage and stuff. Anyways, on one of them, I basically, I blow them out. And at that point, I'm even realizing, oh, they did pack them up here, guys. Now we can even see more of their wounds of working and stuff. So people don't really understand what kind of a world it is, and what's going on is we're talking phenomenal numbers, because you other people out here are mentioning the trees, and you're connecting and you realize, yeah, they really are about the trees. Yeah, I can kind of follow even more so than I thought before. Well, get this, all the trees. Now you think about numbers now. All the trees, because we're talking about all the trees around the world. And we're in our country here, where we have a vast amount of them. In my city here, my town here, all of my province here, in this area where I've put on thousands of miles and stuff, I can tell all of their work now, all of their work. So I know I can almost tell it in months in some cases, you guys. It's not like I'm a super reader either. This is something that people, once you start to realize the characteristics, and if you follow me, you can figure out those characteristics quicker. If you don't follow me, just start paying attention to trees and start putting it into a language form that you understand how they change and stuff. And don't blame it on a disease ever or anything like that. Leave it open and then just try to figure out, could these marks I'm seeing, could these branches that came down, could these blah 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 blah, even the leaves that go early red, but they don't fall off your tree. They stay up there the whole time until fall. Yeah, well, guess what? Somebody just did a little bit of a eek, so they won't fall off because they didn't really go through that natural state of what fall is. And even if that is fully natural, but I think it is, do they help in fall? I think they probably help in every season and stuff. So I think you guys probably can register that yourself, especially the ones who already realize they're so helpful with the trees and such, eh? So, yeah. Right. Good. Hey? You know, I just don't get to see how I have the computer set up. I just don't get to see it. Yes, I remember the steps are cool. You have a lot of forest. You know, I'm looking at map. Take care of the trees. Yeah, for sure. Well, you know, you get to see in that taking care of does not necessarily, you know how our water never, they fool us with the water. Our water never changes. It's inside. Let's just call it, because I don't want to get mixed up with the bubble people or we're inside of the big jar or something like this. I'm not trying to say anything like that. But the water does not go up to space. It only goes up so high as it comes back down. So it's just a complete cycle that the water. So when you go pee, that actually gets back into the cycle of things. It can't help it. It might not instantly just evaporate and go that way right this second, but that's life. You get what I'm saying, right? Um, so that's really it with all of life here, then, too. So we turn into some kind of vitamin. The only way we don't really turn into vitamin, I believe, is if we become into an ash form. So once your last thing there would be the last gases and doing whatever, burning the fire, making the fire so it actually is partly inflamed by you and whatever's keeping the fire going, sort of thing, brings you right down to an ash form. Now I believe that's everything is sucked from you, and you didn't really get to a big experience of feeding back into the world or anything. But if you get thrown in the ground, obviously you get to see how much you're the cycle of life and all these other things you're feeding and blah, 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 what would go on there. Well, that's the same thing when trees get knocked down and stuff, or when it just think about these two things. Sometimes you're going to come across trees where you see them standing tall, pretty much dead, where we understand dead, we believe, right? But don't believe that anymore. Anyways, pretty much in that state where bark is all being fallen off or whatever type thing. And then, say, over here, 20 feet away, is another tree in the same amount of bark removal, say, but it's laying down on its side. Well, both of those trees will have two different, a couple of different bugs that enjoy um, that state of those trees. And that's part in why you start to see them being stripped. Because now they get to go through the bark, they get to grab their different kind of bugs out of there, or whatever type thing, have their munchies, how they like to have them on this one. And then next thing you know, that you can tell they did their munchies over here. Next thing you know, you'll maybe come across where you understand them to have robbed a squirrel. You know how we always see these squirrels banking all the pine cones and stuff? Well, I swear these guys will go and rob them. And they'll just sit down, eat a ton of them. And yeah, they had a big feast on them doing that. And if you look at a pine cone, I sat down and I studied a pine cone pretty good, to the dried up stage where you still get some nutrition out of it and stuff. The seed in there that you're basically getting out of a medium-sized pine cone is maybe even smaller than a sesame seed, but somewhere around a sesame seed. So it's a lot of labor intensive for them to be getting those little seeds. And I believe they do eat them. Obviously, they're going to be full of it, have some kind of a nutritional value if they spend that kind of time eating them and such. I think that was almost reminding me about something else, but yeah, there's a lot of yakking and stuff. So what do you think? You think I should go for another rub or another walk? You rub them. Yeah, yeah, that's right. I think you're saying they rub bears and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. They direct bears and stuff. That's why black bears are causing a little bit too much problems. I think that's part of the reason why the cougars are causing a little bit of problems. Getting them bossed around in a way that they're maybe not enjoying, and they might even be blaming us in a way. The cougar might, not the bear. The bear's a little too duncy for that, but a cougar could. A cougar will seek revenge more so than a bear. A bear will just seek out of more greed and stuff. You know, that cat thing. Play with the mouse, whatever kind of type of an attitude. But it really is just a bear might play, but it's learning. Mountain lions here. The mountain lions here. That's what we call them. What you talking about, Willis? So how's the view? Interesting things or anybody? Oh, Hild. Hey, Hild, how's it going? Yeah, this is a live one. Hild, did you watch my video from the other night, the red-eyed one? If she's around still. Yeah, you're saying awesome, but do you have like? You think there's any action? Like, what are you thinking? Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. 2 out of 6. Good, good. Okay, well, if you think you're seeing something, then black. Oh, you're not seeing any. Are you able to zoom or anything? Phil, you're saying good partial. How you're feeling? Almost 8 in the morning. Oh, I got you. On the right of your screen, eh? That's towards the plants more and stuff. Well, I think I'm just gonna probably give it about another 10 minutes here or something. Just so I get some good footage and such. I'm looking forward to being able to go through this. I tried to turn on my phone, but it wouldn't allow me in this situation to connect with my Wi-Fi. Or I mean, even onto my channel, I should say. I guess it's just because I'm too close. It just won't allow me on my phone. I can go on anything else on YouTube there, but not onto this live. I have one thing. Oh, I guess if I just didn't, I signed out and then do it, I'll be able to do it. Never thought of that. That's why I don't give up on just kind of humming things over and mentioning things. It's because there's always going to be another answer, another set of eyes that go, yeah, I seen something here, and different opinions and stuff. when you guys do come around and you throw out some stuff, even if it's just quick and kind of simple, unless you don't have the time and you're not really watching them, then that's cool. But when you do have the time and you enjoy something, try to throw an opinion down. Try to, if there's anything, say you do actually enjoy a select of my videos, 10 of them, or you can even just make that up and you just make a playlist in your own YouTube channel. Just make a playlist for Tinman. Could do favorites, maybe the real one legits, then you like, and every time you come across a new one, like it, and it'll go into that file. Whether you use the file or not, doesn't matter. But I tell you this, it really does affect me really well. So if you took all of my videos, all 2,000 of them or so on this subject, I know you're not going to, but if you did that and put them all into your playlist, it probably gets a better notification than you giving me thumb. It's a higher rating to post a video into one of your favorite categories, make a playlist, than giving it a thumb. But try to do that, thumbs and that, because I think a lot of you guys, especially you guys, I'm not really a whiner mode to do this. I'm stating what I believe is kind of an important urgency to be talking about and stuff. At least get to higher levels of some education on it, and not just keep thinking that these structures really mean something, and you know we're hoping to catch them on a picture. There's more to it than that, and if you start following it this way, trust me, you understand a lot difference. And I think they must recognize it too. And that's probably why I get a bit of a different reaction that I think a lot of people are starting to notice now. But I say it is too slow. We should already have. We should already be into this game for 10 years. So we're probably in this province. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in this country here, in this country actually, and the relation, what I can see going on in the States and stuff, we're 10 years behind on this at least. And how we've become wimpy, kind of weird people and stuff in a lot of ways, just some stuff that's going on where we got to get all our I's dotted and all that kind of stuff. Or else people do it out, behind the thing, and then that's when they're more corrupt. But if you're trying to do it the legit way, then you got to do all that kind of stuff. And in this system, doing that system, I mean, for this in particular project, won't work well, if you get what I'm talking about. But I don't know if we're smart enough. We're not going to be able to get a hand up on them. Not much. So we have, so in other words, the crazy people can't think that they're just going to be able to go crazy and fix the problem. The reason why we probably have to conserve on the forest more and stuff like that, and we start using more bare land and stuff, and start building our houses just around trees and all that kind of stuff, in some respects, would be just so they can keep doing the farming that they need to do, because it all gets utilized in their system, how they run things. So and then there would be ways to try to have them where they'd be more willing to work in different areas and less in certain areas. So if you understand that, then if there ever has to be real comfort, then go live on a piece of concrete that's 100 miles by 100 miles square, and live in the middle of it with nothing growing there, and a type of concrete that has rubber in it, so they won't be as, not that they'd get into rubber, I'd imagine, stuff, but don't, there's nothing that, we're not seeing them going around and destroying a bunch of rubber tires on vehicles, but you never know. There could be a bit of a phenomenon out in certain countries where a lot of people are getting flat tires and they're not finding screws in their tires. They just don't know why it happens. Troublemakers, been talking about that for a long time, and a lot of that might just be boredom. Numbers now, they don't get to do all their same kind of work anymore. They're tripling up on it and stuff because there's so many of them and stuff. So that's why our trees are, why I've been noticing crazy growth in them and stuff, is because these guys are tripling up on their work. So and the trees are able to react that good. They're actually that tough. They're being watered well in this country and good sun. And they get super nutrients from the earth the way these guys tickle tease them or whatever and stuff. And yeah, life. So I'm back. Six of us out there. Hey Greg, how's it going? Yeah, my not to brag about it or anything like that, but I think my tinnitus, my hyperacusis have got, this is an answer I've come up with where I think it's gotten worse, man. So it's a little bit of a drag because it's really, that hearing component is a big deal for doing this kind of work, man. And I really suck at it now. So doesn't mean I miss everything, but it means I can't count on what I hear all the time. Not unless it's really explicit, or the best rule is, you kind of hear it 3 times in a row or something. Then you're totally, you're kind of okay with it and stuff. You're working it, bro? Are you at work? Do. So I bet you when we come back, I bet you if you can get any, if you can do zooming and stuff, recheck it out a little bit, or come back in a day or two or whatever. Give me a chance to check it out, and I'll do a couple of quick checks. I always usually just do a real fly through video sometimes, and just check for a couple of simple things, and then throw it up. If you on that Red Eyes Part 1, if you look at Rob Toys, if you look at his comments, he's saying a couple of things too. And I remember kind of looking around where he's talking about a bit, and I'm getting him a bit. But at the same time, that's where I'm talking about, the pixelation of this camera, sucks. This is your work. Is it? Cool. However that is your work, then cool. That sounds cool. Your work is in the video the kind of department, you mean? Or you make videos, pictures? So are you a field worker and stuff then? Okay, you're interesting things, okay. When it comes to the subject then, have you gone out in the field or anything? Videographing, okay. I'll check out your channel. Oh yeah, eh? And how's your luck coming out there? Oh, okay. Perfect. I'm going to check out your channel. Okay, I'm going to walk around in my trunk. Feel this is a good spot? I think it is. Everybody still awake? 3's hanging on. Cool. Yeah, I hear you on the feeling of fear. I don't blame you at all. Because I don't know. It's just like anything. It needs you're starting to really study from the ground. So it doesn't mean you can't be successful that way. But just remember there's lots of doors to walk through. Because what a person can do is, a person now, through watching my show and stuff, you can start to really realize that you can just do the studying through the trees. And if you actually just study the trees, you get closer. You really do. It's like those dads who come home and say, for 20 years, I put in all that time and I don't even know my kids. He shouldn't, and then he regrets working so hard for his family. But he thought he was doing it for his family, and now he grows up and he doesn't know anything about them. It's kind of like a thing like that. So pay attention to a lot of stuff, and if you follow my stuff, you'll start to understand that they really, and you already know what you know, but when you really start to see the trades and the work that they do and stuff, and put your own head around it, like these stairs for an instance, that's a huge question for people to be kind of going, why are they breaking down those stairs? Like, and these stairs are 100 years old or something. So that goes to tell you another story. Because, like I said to somebody, I said, when did they start picking at them? 50 years ago? And how much have they done? Not too much. But now all of a sudden, in the last or not in the last 2 years, this picking has only started in the last few months. I'm going to give you a big shout out to you. See all that, eh? Here, let me get you I'll give you a better directional shot with my hands and stuff, and um, you get what I mean. I'm trying to be sneaky and act like I'm going to be a decoy. So these are the things that I was showing you. Right here. This one and that one. You tell me what the hell you're doing, Ian. Ian, where are you? If could you imagine if my sister's watching this right now? I find it extremely funny. And I guess other people will be able to watch this and decide if they laugh or not. Haha, you're getting it right on, interesting things. Alrighty, thank you so much for hanging out the whole time, and the other ones in the background there who hung out the whole time, and whoever's around, and people who popped in and popped out. Hey, I don't know if anybody notices, but now on when I do my lives, there is, if anybody has that availability, I don't know how you have to do it, but I do have a contribution thing through lives that people can give, I don't know, a tip or something. I don't know what you even really call it without getting in trouble, right? So yeah, there's a little happy face with a dollar sign there. So if anybody wants to ever try that, then free, man, because it would be helpful. Hey, you didn't talk too much, man. I'm loving it that you talk so much interesting things. I kind of almost feel bad that I didn't see all of your talking, but sometimes I just leave that up to you guys, and hopefully a couple of people are talking along with you and stuff. But you talking a lot also goes on the ratings for this video. The first ratings thing is a real kick for it, you know. So in other words, if you had 100 views, or no, like You get what I mean. Obviously, numbers are bigger, but then soon as you get into chat, instead it's just say a few comments from each person. But if they each do in 10 each or something, and those kind of counts really pull through, show through or whatever. So, and then they'll give me a higher rating for live situation and stuff. You know what I'm coming up to? You and maybe not very many people even realize this. Well, you'll get to know now, but I think maybe people don't realize this. But I'm at just maybe even tonight. I think I'm, oh no, not tonight. I'm pretty close to 900,000 views. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I'm getting close to 1 million views. So that's a pretty cool number. It doesn't necessarily mean much, but it probably stands out. Yeah, it probably stands out. Thanks, interesting things. It probably stands out, a little bit more to them, right? And I'm a tough go for a lot of people to sub, and because I put out a lot of videos, and a lot of people haven't spent the time to truly try to figure out what I'm talking about. So if you're only going on a guess what a guy's talking about and stuff, then it might be kind of hard for them to hang around. But if they click into what I'm talking about and have that kind of mind where they just need to know, well, this is probably one of the biggest matters on earth to need to know about. Yeah, that's what I say. Hey, New Zealanders here? Right on. How's it going, Corey? Right on. Hey, Hild, still around? Money time. Whoops, I shouldn't be tapping that, should I? Hey, New Zealand, nice for you to come on the show here. What you have to do is, I don't know if you watched it, Hild. I hope you have. But anyways, a couple of days back, I was at this spot. Oh, you love my stuff, right on. And anyway, so hopefully you watch that one then. It's called Red Eyes Part 1. And yeah, go by my direction. Check out a couple other people's comments or whatever. But my direction kind of push you to the left-hand corner, kind of almost like where I'm kind of pointing right now, just kind of thinking, well, you never know, maybe that's a comfortable spot or something. So, and it's zoom work. You might be able to see the two big ones quite easily. And then what you do is you categorize them as like eyes. And each set of eyes there is two. So have them realize that blinking and stuff can be happening unless there's an on and off switch. But um, and when it comes to that kind of stuff, don't necessarily try to figure out how the blink is happening necessarily. Just watch the sequences of the blinks and stuff, and because there's two big ones that they stay within such a same distances of each other, and how they play around with each other and stuff like that. They seem legit just on one. See, because sometimes you can get mixed up the way they'll hang out together, and because to put a head on an angle like on a side, we're going to get a kink in our neck in 2 minutes and give up on that. Well, not in this case, right? So sometimes it's making a T shape of eyes, and you're kind of confused because it's kind of, well, why two like this and two like that? No, it must be some kind of a shine on a leaf or something. So you got to really learn the study, unless you already do. But if you don't, then that might be helpful for those people. So I will definitely check it out. Awesome. Alrighty. Now that Corey comes around, I'm taking off. Not to be a jerk or anything, but it's time for this cowboy to shut her down. Coming up to 11:30 out here. And Corey, you're just probably getting up and at him. There's Hild. Yeah, she's just up. What did I miss? I feel bad for the hang so far. It's all right, Hild. You know, just try to read the titles of mine. I think I'm trying to be kind of clear on my titles, but go and watch the one that's called Red Eye. Hopefully you can still hear me here. Red Eye Part 2, Part 1, I mean. Just Part 1. You don't have to waste your time on Part 2. If you want to check out 2, it's up to you. But anyways, you have to be in the mood to be using Zoom. Follow my direction on it or whatever, but at 3 minutes and something or whatever, for a good probably 10 minutes or whatever, and then maybe I even come back that way a couple of times. But one of the best things about it, you guys, this video, this is good coming up right now, Hild, so thank you. The best thing I want you to do is right around 2, let's just say I changed the direction of the camera at 2 minutes and 48 seconds, okay? I don't remember what the time is, but when that shifting is happening right to the spot, I leave it there for 10 minutes, and that's the spot I'm making the claim that I really want you to pay attention up in that left-hand corner. But just soon as I shift it there, and as I'm just stopping the shift, okay, and you can tell that, okay, the camera's not going to move anymore. Those are all coming on. So that's a perfect thing. So in other words, shifting is going, let's just say all eyes are closed, shifting happens, stop. Just as it's stopping, the big eyes open first, and then the other ones all open and join in. Yeah, you get to see that. So that's because I started to have second thoughts and started thinking, oh man, maybe they're a reflection of some plant up there and blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of looking at it like that. And I remembered that. And no, yeah, I just thought to go to that spot and see what goes down. And that's what I did, and that's what it really looks to me. So give me a confirmation on that if you think, yeah, those eyes must be just either turning on or just opening, or yeah, we're gonna send the guys with the straight white jacket and the white uniforms to come pick you up, take you for a nice ride. Alrighty, guys. It's 6:10. Cool. Just finished work. Okay. Rock and roll. What time is it here? Yeah, so the 11, yeah, we're at 11:20 or something. Alrighty, or 17 or something. Okay, guys, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out. Give me thumbs up, please. Don't forget to sub and share. And most of all, I say, just talk about the subject a little bit different about these guys. Talk about how do you think they live to people? Where do you think they're hiding? What do you think? Do you think, start getting them thinking about that they work, that they have lives, they feel like they have duties. If you think about ants and stuff, don't you think that an ant feels like he has the duty to do what he's doing, and that's how he does it, in a way? Like, look at how we've chosen to live, and that's because we have a drive to do that. It's not just we went, okay, let's just kind of choose to be this amount of many things. We could be many more things we could add into humans that we kind of stay away from doing or something like this. And so it's the same with these guys too. They got jobs, they're doing them, they're overdoing them, and I think it's because of overpopulation. And that could become a problem. So, night night.